Mark Twain said something very interesting. He said, there are two most important days in your life. First is the day you were born, and second is the day when you find out why. You know? So the day we were born is like, well, no brainer. We all know our birthdays. The day we find out why was I born, and like he said, we're definitely not here to just say pay taxes and mortgages and bills and perform very well. That's an inseparable part of life, undoubtedly. But is that everything? No. So to be able to figure out why am I here is what purpose is all about. And I'm reminded of my, a lot of times we feel purpose is about doing big things and making a big difference in the world. And we keep postponing our purpose, thinking that one day maybe I'll get a chance, an opportunity, a platform to be able to add some value to the world out there. But His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he said something very interesting. He said, if you think you can't make a difference in the world, try sleeping with a mosquito in a room alone. You will know that you can be as tiny as a mosquito. Of course, that's in a negative way. But you can definitely make a difference. I was in London, and a friend of mine took me to see the St. Paul's Cathedral. This is years back. And I remember walking into the St. Paul's Cathedral, a beautiful edifice. It's very gratifying to see something as beautifully crafted and as beautifully made as that. It was beautiful. Entered into the cathedral, sat down there, offered a prayer, just got into my inner space for a while. And then the head priest there, he came to me and he said, can I speak to you for a while? I said, of course. He said, would you like to know what the history of this cathedral is? I said, why not? And then he said, back in the 1700s, when this cathedral was being made, one of the architects there, Mr. Christopher Wren, he was walking around. And there were all these masons and bricklayers and varieties of people working on building this cathedral. So he was walking around at the construction site, and he came across one of the bricklayers there. And he asked this gentleman, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm laying bricks. Big thing, right? Telling him what he was doing, laying bricks. What are you doing? I'm a journalist. I write for the week. Big thing, right? What am I doing? I'm speaking. I'm a speaker. I speak. Big deal, right? He asked the bricklayer, what are you doing? He said, I'm laying bricks. He moved a little ahead and saw another bricklayer doing the same thing, laying bricks. He asked him, sir, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm laying bricks because I need to make a living for my family and give them a better standard of living. Now, just from laying bricks, the purpose has shifted, with the center being not just the work, as in routine and rote work, but now a purpose to earn for the family and make sure that my family gets a better standard of living. A couple of minutes later, as he was still taking a stroll at the construction site, he came across another gentleman who was also laying bricks. And he asked the gentleman, what are you doing, sir? He said, well, I heard there's a gentleman called Christopher Wren. And I've heard that he's making a spectacular monument in praise of God. And I want to make sure that I be a tiny part of creating that spectacular monument. And I'm laying my bricks to make sure that this becomes a tiny part of that entire huge purpose of making this beautiful cathedral. Now, he was also laying bricks. The purpose had shifted, moving from just family to now making a difference in what was being made there. And which is why there can never be a single definition to what purpose is. Each one is doing what they do with a different intent, with a different motivation. For somebody, just making sure that a family is in place and they get a better life is purpose. Yet for others, to write an article or to give a speech or to say something or to act in a movie or to sing a song, while knowing that at the receiving end, somebody out there is going to be benefited out of what I do, is purpose. So, what is purpose? It's about making a difference. You write an article for the heck of writing an article, And you write an article for saying, I want to make a difference by making people think deeper. I come here and do my job and speak and I go, but come here and speak with the intent that maybe one individual here will take something back. That's how our purpose is. And it keeps evolving and going back and forth. At some points in time, our purpose is going to be us, 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 us. You know why? Because we're burning the candle at both the ends. We're not going to think of bloody anything at that point in time. It's just me. It's not selfish. It's a part of my purpose, like the oxygen mask, before I put it on somebody else. At some points in time, the purpose is going to be focusing on the needs of my family completely because they're just so neglected. And at all points in time, that bricklayer, while he was making that cathedral, laying his bricks, tiny little difference. It's the skill set we have to do what we do. Purpose is about shifting our mindset. We all have a certain skill set. And as we change that mindset, then I can't do big things. I'm not somebody who has that opportunity, the platform, the privilege to do these big things. But I can, like the bricklayer, add a tiny tad bit of value by which the cathedral of St. Paul's will be beautiful. So that to me is what purpose is about. Thank you.